Hello, welcome back to the A Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Amir Hamid. Joining me today will be Brant Dubois.
Hey there.
And Morris Cesario.
Hey, how are you?
Alrighty, boys. We got a bit to talk about, baseball playoffs in full swing. We got the NBA Finals on. The NHL playoffs just ended. What else?
The Blue Jays' dream season came and went.
Yeah. All in like
blink of an eye.
Less than
Look at that.
24 hours.
Boom. Gone. So much hope and so much hurt.
Yeah. And we'll get into that and stuff. Is that where we want to start off, or do we want to start off with week 4 in the NFL? Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to do. We can start off with the NFL. We don't do that often.
Okay. Week 4 picks are this week, but first, Moro, tell us how we did in week 3, because I legitimately don't know.
All right.
I don't know either.
No. I got the full report here.
First of all, I can't believe Moro got me to switch on my pick.
I got him like a fish. I got him like a fish.
I was
See,
waiting.
That's the worst part.
I was waiting for the end of the video to be like, you know what, Moro? I believe in you.
It's a bad
released
take on
that
my
video
part.
on Morrow, making the pick on New York, and I didn't even include you, but I definitely could have looking back.
No, but still, it looks bad, at least for me, because then
you guaranteed it was the thing that I laughed at.
I rope a mirror into it, and then it makes us all look bad because now we're making Brant look like the lone wolf on a pick that shouldn't really be. It
was not that
hard. That's what I'm saying. But
that was good.
Yeah, I mean, so here I'll take us back to what happened week 3. So week 3, Amir went 9-7. So for the most part, we all got the same things wrong. Like Jacksonville, we all got wrong on the Thursday nighter.
Yep.
Giants, both me and Amir got wrong. Bears, Atlanta choked again. So we all got that one wrong. Eagles and Bengals, technically because of the tie, we don't get that.
Neither of us.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Chargers, we all went Chargers on the Panthers. Panthers won. Lions, we all lost taking the Cards. And you guys took Baltimore. I took KC. So for the one that I took, that's opposing you, was the Rams. So I finished 9-7. Amir finishes 9-7. Brant finishes 10-6.
Wow! So you made up a game.
3 straight 10.
Made up a game.
3 straight 10 weeks, man. 10-win weeks.
So me and Amir split still after week 3. So it's 34-14 for both me and Amir in first, and then Brent is 3 games behind at 31 and 17.
Closing in, boys. Closing in.
So that's where we stand heading into week 4.
And we all picked the Broncos last night to beat the Jets.
No, I took the Jets.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you not remember that? Yeah. You not remember that?
Yeah.
I don't. What?
I did take the Jets. I said, fuck it. You know what? Why not?
I'm pulling it. I totally forgot.
Yeah, I did. No, I did.
Remember, I'm like,
you're
going to go underdog again? And it wasn't even actually the underdog. But
they technically weren't even an underdog. But I mean, I just said, fuck it. Thursday night's going to be crazy. It was a back and forth. I mean, Adam Gase is going to do Adam Gase things. Never going to do that again. But
I don't even remember his name, but the guy that started for Denver.
Oh, was
Brett Rippon.
Really good at times and really bad at other times. Like it was a weird,
finished with 3 picks. Yeah,
weird night. Yeah, but I mean, he still put up 37 points. 38.
He really should have had four picks. Like the Judy play that he made. Like
he mossed him. Yeah, that was an incredible catch.
I mean, Mora, what are you doing, bud?
I don't know. Whatever. I just got bored, I guess, per se.
You have too much faith in New York teams.
I don't know. Like New York teams, man, they're always so close to my heart.
Mora's gonna
learn to let them go.
Mora's gonna pick the Knicks next year to win the finals.
Julius Randle MVP, Finals MVP.
Yeah. What are you gawking at, Brant?
That play, I don't even know who's on second for the Padres right now, but the play he just made was disgusting. Just lays out full to his left, and then it's Cronenworth. Cronenworth.
All right.
So you guys are a +1. Yeah. So you guys are a +1 right now on week 4.
So I'm technically leading right now.
Yes. So week 4, game 1 after the Thursday nighter, Colts Bears. Who we got?
I think this is a much more interesting matchup than it looks on paper.
Because the most ugly 3-0 team goes
Big Dick Nick, man. And
the Bears are 3-0.
Yes,
they're 3-0. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
the South is 3-0.
It's not a good 3-0 schedule.
Not a good 3-0 at all. Who is it?
It was
played the Bears, the Falcons.
The Bears played the Bears?
The Bears play the Giants.
Giants.
Sorry,
So
Bears.
Giants, Falcons, and who was the other
It
one?
was the Jets, wasn't it?
Week 1 was DeAndre Swift dropped the catch.
Right.
Lions. Yeah.
Lions.
Oh, Lions.
Yeah.
So they haven't had a great schedule.
3-0. Yeah.
The Falcons is a big win. I mean, they're not good this year, but like
No.
it's not a game I expected them to win.
Yeah.
The Falcons have an offense at least. Like at least they're elite at one thing.
Exactly. They can do something.
Mhm.
You get Nick Foles now. The Nick Foles era is starting.
That's the wild card. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'll lead us off. I'll go Indy just because I think that
it's the safe. Indy's the safe pick.
Yeah.
It really
that
is.
Indy defense is really good, and I trust Nick Foles, but I just don't trust the Bears as a whole to pull out a win, if that makes sense. Even though they're 3-0, like it's not a comfortable 3-0.
If they win this week, they're pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot in a way. Like unless they completely shit the bed, huh?
They're
gonna be 4. They're gonna be 4-0.
Yeah.
At that point, all you need is 1 or 2 other divisional games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they already have the +1 against Detroit in their divisional record, right? So,
I mean, the Panthers started 6-0 not too long ago, and they ended up finishing 6-10 or whatever it was. So, like, anything can happen. But
I did say if they don't shit the bed.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going Indy as well, just because like prove me wrong, Bears. Like I just don't believe in you.
I think like my heart wants to say the Bears just because I think they can do it, and I think there's a chance they pull off this win. But
Nick Foles is a competent quarterback.
Yeah, to be smart about it though, I think I just have to go with Indy because it's I don't want to take that risk.
No, I agree.
I'm not that confident.
So, we're all across the board. Indy. Next, I got Saints Lions. This I think is Michael Thomas returned to practice. Yeah, I think he returned to practice.
Interestingly enough, this is only Saints -3, even though it's on the road.
Yeah,
Saints minus like it's obviously I'm not picking the Lions. Like there's it's got to be a terrible team for me to pick.
It's more of a
indictment on how
but it's more of a thought than you would expect it to be if you hear Saints Lions. Like before the season, you'd think Saints Lions, that's a cakewalk for the Saints, but like the Saints really have to look like the Saints.
Isn't good.
Like Alvin Kamara is carrying that team.
Oh my god, he's been unreal.
He's unbelievable. But outside of that, I don't really have a lot of faith.
Hasn't looked like Drew Brees since the middle of last season.
They found ways to win despite, and I know they've lost their last 2, right? But then they need to find. I think that's more. They need to find ways to win, like especially with Michael Thomas, like Traquan Smith's being asked to do the way too much, to do the 7-yard slant catches that Michael Thomas won't drop one of them, and then I mean there were a couple drop balls between him and Cook against whoever it was they played Green Bay, and I mean like that offense definitely is hurting without Thomas. So if him being back in the lineup is true this week, I like the Saints. So
yeah, I think it's Saints all around.
Yeah, I can't pick the Lions, but like I think it's closer than it should be. Like I put a second thought into it, but it's.
I mean, I think Vegas is kind of telling you like -3, even though the Saints are on the road. Like that's not as big as you would think normally.
No.
Yeah.
So
next, I got Cardinals and Panthers. It's a pretty good game.
It's a fun game. I'm going Cardinals.
The Cardinals are the
100%
the favorite.
I might just bet against the Panthers for the rest of the year. Because last week I took them first 2 weeks and lost, and then I didn't take them last week because I thought they were going to lose, and they look great. So I don't know. I'm going to go Cardinals because I think they have a better offense, and I think the Panthers was a one-off last week on that win. I think the Cardinals are a better team this year than what the Panthers are, especially without C-Mac. Like it's just kind of. I just don't have faith in the Panthers offense without CMC. No. Robbie Anderson looks great. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I think he's like 5th or 6th in receiving yards this year.
Yeah,
so
he's got a couple 100-yard games on him early in the season.
He's been really solid.
Yeah,
it's you don't know magic of not playing for Adam Gase.
You don't know what Teddy Bridgewater's going to show up, and that's always a problem.
I think at best, I think at best, he's a league average quarterback.
Yeah,
I think he's kind of like the new Andy Dalton.
He has games where like he looks like he can be better than that, but then there's just times when it's just like week 2 he was horrible.
Like legitimately, I'm being 100% sincere.
Mhm.
One game. Who would you rather have as your quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater or Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Exactly.
He's just got that. He's got that. I don't know what it is. There's that thing about him.
He's not like. If you had told me the Panthers were like, oh, we just want a quarterback to like bide the time until we find our next one, why didn't they just go out and sign Fitzmagic? You know?
Yeah, it's Fitzpatrick just has that like it factor where it's just like, you know what, he can steal you games if he has to. Whereas Teddy had it, I think, for a little bit in Minnesota, but the knee injuries is kind of taking his legs out of him.
Yeah, I think Teddy needs everything to be right in a situation for him to like, and he could carry a team in that sense where he's not the conductor, but he's
like he was great with the Saints, but it was the Saints when they were great.
Exactly.
So it's a little different.
The Saints have better weapons than the Panthers do.
Yep.
Next game.
Let's get it over with. Giants, Rams.
Rams favored by minus 13 and a half.
13, yeah, I know.
Are you going with the Rams this week, Morrow?
I'm not doing anything stupid this week. Yes, I'm going with the Rams.
Give me the Jets. The Jets.
I'm not doing anything stupid this week.
I think the Jets. I think the Jets are going to win this game. The Jets have a better chance of this game than the Giants do to win this game.
That's what my cousin said. He's like, you guys seen the spread on the Giants and Rams? 12.5. The Jets aren't even that fucking bad. I'm like, fuck, here we go. Laughing stock of the league.
So I'm glad that like all the Giants fans in my life are now on board with like, oh, if they get the number 1 pick, you're trading Daniel Jones and you're taking like one of the 3 big QBs.
I don't know. I guess, yeah. I hate to see it, but yeah.
Daniel Jones is James Winston. There's no like how he's playing right now.
I understand the way he's playing is not good. Nearly where you want him to be playing, considering how high you drafted him at 6. But then it just goes like, just looking back, it looks so bad because you picked the guy at 6 and you're in the asset management. It just looks 100%. So bad.
Yeah, but like
that's my only part. I mean, yeah.
If you're telling this if you're looking at the Cardinals, like, do they regret?
Yeah, it worked.
Do you think they care? Like they're happy about the fact that they're a competitive team now, and it's
that's the thing, right?
You take that bullet to be a better team, right? It kind of sucks, but
they had 3 first-round picks that year, and they picked Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
I mean, they used the 6th pick on him, and I mean, only to see him freaking dwindle away after 2 years. I mean, I hate to see it because I think he still has upside.
Hey, he's still a better pick than DeAndre Baker. Hey,
okay, fine. But back-to-back years, here we go.
All going Rams here?
Yeah. No, I think
Okay. Here's my bit on the Giants.
Okay.
And it goes back to Eli Manning.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I always thought that Eli Manning's first name was short for Elijah or something nice.
I believe it is Elijah.
Incorrect. I went to Wikipedia, and his full name is Alicia Nelson Manning.
Yeah, Elijah.
It's spelled like Alicia. It's spelled
Elijah. I know the way it's spelled.
But no one spells it like that. I legitimately looked at it. I was just like, hold on, is this Alicia?
He has a full name. Sorry, his full name's not Eli.
Who spells Elijah like that? It's
Archie Manning. Archie Manning.
It's obviously a lot. Sure, it's Elijah, but who the hell? It's such a millennial way to spell it. Like I'm
just learning his full name's not Eli. I'm just finding this out now.
Eli is always short for Elijah. It's like
okay.
So it's Eli SHA.
Yeah,
it's Alicia.
Yes, I agree.
Not Elijah.
I agree. It's Elisha.
Still a Hall of Fame quarterback, all right?
Elisha had a lot of picks.
Are we ready for next one?
Yes.
Okay. This is another doozy. We got Jags and Bengals.
The Bengals are favored.
I kind of like that game. I kind of like that game. Am I wrong? I think points will be scored.
Yeah, I think points will be. I mean, look at what happened when we all took the Jags in Thursday nighter. We went Jags across the board week 3 for Jags. I mean, I'm favoring Bengals. I'm starting Joe Burrow in one of my pools this week.
I'm taking the Bengals too. I
The
don't
Bengals
like.
are the favorite betting wise.
Yeah,
I have a lot. I don't know.
I think it matters if DJ Chark plays or not. I think that's a
Yeah.
big difference.
Yeah.
I have both. I have both of the running backs, and I think that they'll do well this week.
Robinson
Since
is
both
Yeah, I think
Robinson
the
is
schedule makes
gross.
sense.
And I sat Robinson last week, so
Oh no.
fuck me.
I
Yeah,
lost CMC, so I replaced him with Robinson. It was money.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of just want to take the Jags because I think it's close enough, and you guys are going the other direction. So I think I'm just going to go Jags. I think it's a toss up, but I don't have a lot of faith in the Bengals defense to hold off Gardner Minshew for 4 straight quarters. But we'll see. You never know with that kid, man. Like sometimes he shows up and he looks like he could put himself in the upper echelon of quarterbacks, and sometimes he looks like he should probably be sitting on the bench. You really don't know what he is, and the team around him is not all that great. But who knows? We'll see.
Fair enough. Next, we got the Cowgirls and the Browns.
Wow. I think it's Brant. Do you want to start this off?
Kareem Hunt's questionable.
Okay.
He says he's probably going to play, but he's got some groin issues, so he's probably not going to get a ton of touches.
That sucks that their best running back is out, even though he's their second string running
Still
back.
not. Yeah. He's the more talented of the two. Nick Chubb, incredible at just running through guys, but like Kareem Hunt, the talent that guy possesses. Like he made a catch last week where he was like falling down and like reached out and grabbed it one-handed. Unbelievable.
Gross.
So yeah, he's playing, but he probably won't be Kareem Hunt-esque. So that's a hit. Because like as much as it's your second running back, the system they run relies on having 2 dominant.
It's a second half surge from him.
Yeah. Because he's the one that's running the ball out always. Yeah. Like he's the one that's out there on third down.
He's like your receiving running back too. Like he does a lot.
No, for sure.
Well, and Dak Prescott's looks so good this year, man. Like it's just I like the Browns. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't know if their defense has it in them to hold off Dallas and not long enough to win. So I think I got to go Dallas.
Dallas. Yeah. Morrow.
See, if I were to take the Browns, it's out of my pure hatred for the Cowboys.
I wouldn't blame you if you did.
It's not like an awful pick.
No, I know the spread. Isn't the spread like 7 though?
4.5.
4.5.
So like,
I don't know. Like, obviously the Cowboys' offense is a lot better than the Browns, and I mean it's going to be a tough task for them to try and hold them off.
But you got to figure that the Browns, like, they run clock, they shorten the game, like that's their game plan to win.
Yeah.
Opposed to Dallas, where it's like get as many shots at it as possible. So,
I mean, I hate the Cowboys, but I'll take them. Like, fine.
It'll be a close game. I think it'll be close, but it's just tough for them to pull out a win against that offense.
Yeah, like Dallas is at home. I'm pretty sure for this one, if I copied it incorrectly. So
so they have fans too, which is I guess Cleveland.
Yeah.
Next, we got Vikings Texans. Texans are 0-3, and it's an ugly 0-3 because they've had a pretty tough schedule.
Oh, they've had the hardest schedule in the league.
Just brutal what they've had to do so far.
Here's the thing, though. I think this is the least watchable game this week.
They're both really disappointing this year.
No, I just like, who does Deshaun Watson have to throw to? I don't want to watch Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook's fun and Deshaun Watson's fun, but like
the Vikings just straight up suck this year. Like they're not good.
Yep.
I don't enjoy watching them. They were not good.
2 playoff teams last year.
Justin Jefferson, like he had a breakout game last week. Their first round pick from LSU. Yeah. He was really good. But
Texans are favored.
I'm picking Houston. Like without it, like I'm not gonna bet on Kirk Cousins.
Until you can prove to me that you're a legitimate quarterback in this league. I cannot bet on Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry. Like I have no faith in that guy 9 times out of 10.
I think I'm gonna do it.
No way.
All right. Hey man.
I don't know. I mean,
you've made some bold picks before.
Houston hasn't really like. I understand they've been tough games.
No, you're right.
They didn't even show up against Baltimore.
No. Yeah.
I mean,
speaking of not showing up, Baltimore didn't really show up either, though, against fucking
fair.
KC. It happens, man. Like it's just.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll stick with the Vikings.
Okay.
This isn't an easy one here. Seahawks and Dolphins, unless anybody's counting
Obviously, it's the Dolphins, right? Fitzmagic. No, the MVP of the league is on the other team. You're not going.
Don't be. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised though if the Dolphins put up some points here. I mean, Seattle's given up a lot from their
defense. Their defense isn't great.
I agree.
Which is wild to say about the Seahawks because for how long their defense was like top 3 in the league.
Been a boom. They had
Jamal Adams. Like he's been good for them. Obviously, he's made a big difference. But corners suck.
Not enough. Yeah,
they don't get pressure now that they don't have Clowney.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Yeah. They don't have a lot of pressure on the QB, and they just sit around and like Dak threw. I mean, he got picked twice, I believe, but still.
But Cam went crazy against them. Week 1, Atlanta went crazy. Now, granted, most of these are good teams, like good offenses.
Yeah,
outside of maybe
they're going to give up some points, but
I
mean, the offense has been pretty good.
I think Fitzmagic. Like if people started Fitzmagic in fantasy this week, like I wouldn't blame them.
Yeah, they still get some pretty good value, I think.
Yeah, if that's all you had.
Yeah, but Seattle, 100%.
Yeah. Sure.
Chargers, Bucks. Interesting.
It's a little fun. If Herbert's starting, I'm not a Herbert guy, but like it's still interesting to see.
By 7 on the score. That might be 7.
6.5. I see. Yeah. Bucks.
I think the Bucks look good. They're starting to come together. Gronk he led the team in targets last week. After having like 3 combined in the first 2 weeks.
Wow.
That's pretty wild. If they can continue to dump balls off to him and he gets it back a little bit, well, that offense is going to be even more dangerous than it already is.
No Fournette.
Was he out?
Which,
he's out. Wow. So it's going to be a Ronald Jones day.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a huge issue. Like Fournette's had one good game of the 3, I'd say.
And same with Rojo, like it's 1.5 good games. So.
You never really know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm going Bucks, obviously. It should be fun.
Game of the week here. Pats, Chiefs.
Gotta be. I mean, but I also see a scenario.
Heavy favorite betting wise.
7 points.
I know, but
I wouldn't take the Chiefs with the 7 points though. I think that's I don't know. I think it could be closer than that. If we're betting with the points here, I'd bet the Patriots, but there's no chance in hell I'm picking the Patriots over the Chiefs. Like, what are we even doing here?
They look scary good against the Baltimore defense. Like
they did.
If there's any team that can beat the Chiefs just like by accident, though, I would give it to the Patriots. Like, because even week 1, the Chiefs looked sketchy for a little bit, and then week 2, they didn't look all that great. You run into a team like that. Cam Newton's got that offense firing pretty well. If he puts up a ton of points in the first half and KC doesn't start on time, then they could accidentally win it. But to bet on one of them, you go to the Chiefs 10 times out of 10.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I think that could be the upset of the week, but also,
for sure,
there's no chance in hell if I'm in a wins pool. No chance. Next game.
Next, I got Bills Raiders.
Fun game.
Yeah.
No Henry Ruggs for the Raiders, but the Bills are fun. Is Josh Allen legit? I don't know. What?
Do you want to say what you brought up, or are we gonna say?
I mean, look, Josh Allen for MVP. Why the fuck not?
Because Russell Wilson exists, buddy.
Yes, I understand that. I absolutely understand that.
I am willing to give Josh Allen all kinds of props because he's been good this
year.
Is he
not number 2 right now?
He is number 2. Pat Mahomes hasn't really been that good.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes hasn't been good.
He's been good, but he hasn't been like. I think Josh Allen is carrying his team more than KC is.
100%.
I think Pat Mahomes dominated the Ravens, and that was by far his best game of the year. But for an entire half in game 2, he was bad, and for game 1, he was just okay. Like he wasn't that special. But Josh Allen's been special in all 3 games, and he's done a lot of work to get them where they're at. I think it's close. Obviously, I think Pat Mahomes is right on his tail, but I think you got to give the number 2 spot to Josh Allen because it's just what he's done for that team and what he has to work with. Really, what's that?
Those are 3-0 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I say that.
Yeah, and you compare the receiving core around the Bills compared to what the Chiefs have. You give it to the Chiefs every day.
Yeah,
it's wicked to see what he's done. Good player, definitely not the MVP though. So
I don't think it's like definitely not the like. It's not blasphemous to bring it up. Like, okay, Russell Wilson, 14-1 touchdown and interceptions. Josh Allen 10-1. Josh Allen much better.
That's 4 more touchdowns in 40 games.
I understand that. I understand
through 3 weeks. Yeah, like you could definitely make the case, but yeah, like as the second, like for sure. I get where you're
second.
I'm also biased with my Mahomes pick just because, like, I love watching his style of play, like the fullback
100%.
pass he made. Like it's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know his mom actually doesn't like when people call him Pat?
Pat. Oh, I saw that. That was
I heard about that.
Okay.
Interesting.
Patrick Mahomes. Let me correct myself.
Allen does have 2 rushing touchdowns for what it's worth. So
does Russ? How many does Russ have?
0. No? Yeah. So
I thought he had
14-12.
Yeah, 5, 5, and 4.
Yeah.
Next, you guys want to keep going here?
Wait, did we pick that one?
I don't think any of us actually picked.
I'm taking Buffalo. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
I didn't bet on this game strictly because I think it's going to be fucking close, man. Like,
I mean, it's a 3-point spread.
I had us all chalked in at Buffalo, but I mean, unless Brand's got something different here.
I don't know, man.
I kind of like the Raiders. Like
the Raiders are coming off a real bad week last week where Waller was battling injury and Jacobs was battling injury.
Yeah.
So you get them back a little more to full health against a Buffalo defense that's good, obviously. But like they've had a fair amount of points this year against them. I mean, they also look like garbage in the second half of that Rams game. Like they just shut down. They won by accident, essentially. Like they should not have won that game. And I don't know, the Raiders could steal one from him. Like Derek Carr, when he's on, is a really good quarterback. And if he just keeps dumping the ball off to Waller, he's tough to stop, man. You run that Waller-Jacobs line all the way downfield, I could see them taking it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm confident enough to go with them, but because you guys went the other way, I might as well do it for fun. Let's go with the Raiders. Just see what happens.
Brandt's either going to look great this week or really bad.
Yeah, I mean, this
is
second out there pick I made.
Yeah, it's like it's either you make up ground all the way or
I just drop further.
Yeah,
the gap. I think this one's an easy one unless you guys surprise me. 49ers Eagles.
Is it easy?
This is Sunday night.
They're getting Kittle's back.
Kittle and Debo are back. Debo apparently isn't going to play his.
Debo's not necessarily.
Debo's not playing.
He's not going to have. No, he's back. He's not playing his full workload though.
He's off IR, but I heard he's not playing until next week.
I have him in. I literally checked his fantasy update like 20 minutes.
Might have changed because earlier today my fantasy update said he's not playing until week 5.
Debo won't have normal
role until
it will be he's returning, but it's just going to be whatever a soft day.
So it helps. He's in a little bit, I guess.
He probably won't even touch the field, but I saw him as being technically in the lineup. So I mean, they look good against my shitty ass team last week. I mean, the Eagles haven't fared much better this year.
No, it's the Niners. Don't talk me into the fact that they're hurt and they're not going to be good because
I'm not going to take this 49ers nonsense that I spewed last week and try and justify it with the Eagles that have looked.
Moro's tired of being on the Instagram page.
Yeah.
No cap though. Like, I'm really debating this one.
Really?
What about the 49ers makes you feel good?
The fact that the Eagles just tied the Bengals?
The fact that the Eagles cannot get a first down if their life depends on it. Like their offensive line.
So you feel comfortable betting on Nick Mullins over Carson Wentz?
Mm-hmm. That's not the point. It's the rest of the team around them.
Who's pressuring the Eagles with the injuries that happened to the 49ers front?
I think the guy's name is Javon Kinlaw.
Javon Kinlaw, their first round pick. Yeah.
And don't they still have Eric Armstead?
No. Oh, yep, they do.
D Ford.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep going? It's not that close of a
Fine.
I mean,
you can go ahead and take the Eagles.
No, I don't feel good about it. That spread is fucking huge. That spread is the only thing that's scaring me is the fucking spread. If the spread is like it was like closer. Give me the Eagle. Oh no, give me the 49ers. Oh, I actually messed up. Give me the 49ers.
Give me the Eagles.
Give me until you give me a full out. Give me the blank.
Give me the 49ers.
Okay, done. I already had it chalked in.
Yeah.
So we
Who
lose
Who knows? I might switch.
the Steelers and Titans this week because of the COVID.
Yeah. So
Maybe not though. Apparently,
wait, what?
For this
they,
week.
they might play Monday or something stupid. Like they're looking at potentially playing Monday if they don't have any more positive cases.
How are they going to know? Like, here's my part.
Like
the incubation is 2 to 14 days. Like, how are you going to actually call that? Oh, it's been that time. They can totally play. Like, what are you doing?
So here's the thing too, is like, if you don't get this game made up and you have one more game get knocked out of schedule, what the fuck do you do if you're the NFL? Like someone brought up like, oh, the MLB got through it, but yeah, the MLB can play 2 games a day. The NFL can't play 2 games a week.
That's a fair point.
How the hell do you think you're going to get through with this if you have any more games get knocked out of schedule? You're fucked.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't really prepared for this, but let's spitball it with each other, because like I think you would have to rearrange the schedule around.
They have made a contingency schedule right now. Like I believe what they proposed is Titans, because they have a week 8 bye. Sure. They both take their bye week this week. Obviously. And then they play the Steelers week 8 or week 7. I believe week 7, and then because
they switch around
the Ravens versus Steelers to week 8.
Okay.
And so then it works out switch.
Yeah.
Right.
Ravens
switch to another game.
That's great.
It impacts like 4 or 5 teams. Like it's
what I mean. If you start getting any more of these situations happening, you're going to be in some real trouble. Like you can only do this once or twice before it gets fucked.
If it starts getting a little bit more complicated with the rejigs of the schedule,
I think that you're just gonna have to play it at some point. Like you just have to. Like that's all you. So, but the problem is
you made your bed. You got to lay in it.
Well, the problem is you don't know who's positive and who isn't.
That's the thing.
Like
even after they test, like they could test negative today and then be positive tomorrow without even touching anyone, right? Like it's tough. Like if you have those, like there's no way in hell they can play on Monday. I saw that pop up today and I'm like, there's no chance in hell that's going to happen. But I think Houston's doing the same thing, because I don't know if they tested positive, but they said today they tested no cases, so they're going to continue on with the game. I don't know what the hell the storyline was there, but like you could get, even if your whole team tests negative, the next day you could have 3 positive tests and no idea, but played that day, and then you could have transferred it to the other team, and now you're fucked for next week because you have 2 teams that have it. You got to mess up 4 different teams' schedules and stuff. Like you're running into trouble real quick.
Your football's in the worst situation out of any sport, because you simply can't just play games no matter what, because it's one thing to say you can play without the guys that have it, but the problem is you don't know which guys do have it and are developing.
Could still have it. Yeah,
exactly.
No, I get it. It's tough.
I think there's an inherent risk that like those guys, there's a chain reaction that's set off around the league. And if there's any league that would be like, well, fuck it, you know the dangers, it's the NFL. Yeah. Considering the fact that they have crowds.
What was the Kirk Cousins line? If I die, I die.
Yeah. You know,
there's some dumbasses in this league.
Yeah. What's the Monday Night Football game? Is that's
Packers Falcons?
Interesting.
Would have been interesting.
Why would have been?
Just doesn't seem as interesting to me now. Like the Falcons, I just do not have faith in them
being able to close out a game. Every game possible.
Exactly.
Calvin Ridley's questionable. He got a limited practicing today. Julio's been questionable heading through the week. Without their 2 best wide receivers, I doubt that they're both going to miss the game. But still, like if they're not fully 100%,
is Devontae Adams playing? Like
no, he's still out. I think
he's questionable. He's questionable. Yeah,
okay. I heard he was still out. But cool stat on Aaron Rodgers. You guys probably saw it last week in the broadcast. Did you know he's only thrown 2 touchdown passes to first-round picks in his entire career?
Yeah, that's Mercedes.
Crazy. They showed the graphic on it, and it was like Peyton Manning was number 1 at like 238 or something like that, and then Breeze, who he was playing against, had thrown to like 160 or 170 something, and then there was him at the bottom with 2.
That's see funny. Your Aaron Rodgers story, and I raise you a better one. Did you see what was said that Pat McAfee said?
Probably not.
he said that Aaron Rodgers pretends that his headset doesn't work.
Yeah.
So he gets to call the plays himself instead of the coaches.
That's incredible.
That's so funny.
Because you know how he's always like, he believes in himself more than like, there was like a riff with LaFleur early on, and then obviously with McCarthy. Like, it's so petty. It's so good. So that's it for week 4, right? That's it.
Yeah,
we all take
that's
the
it.
Packers on that?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
but Lazard's out, and like Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Russell Gage could be the number 1 wide receivers in this game.
Gates is also coming off a concussion.
Yeah. So
might not even.
So Hayden Hurst and
Joe, first name, last name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Number 1 receivers to this game.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, if it comes down to a battle of running backs, though, I mean, I trust Aaron Jones.
More than Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley washed. Yeah. He sucks.
Yep.
So that's it for.
So I think we're done on that, right?
Yeah. Should we do like a wrap up or not?
Do we have anything else to talk about?
I can wrap it up. Just
go.
We have similar picks for basically everything. So obviously, I lost out on the Jets with my stupidity. Indy, New Orleans, Arizona, Rams. We all bet the same. Me and Amir go Cincinnati, where Brant went Jacksonville. We went Dallas across the board. I took Minnesota. You guys took Houston. Seattle, Tampa, Baltimore, Kansas City, all across the board. Buffalo, and then Brant took Vegas, San Fran, and Green Bay.
Do I want to switch? Yeah, you want to pick
the Eagles?
Yeah, you want to take the Eagles for me?
What messed up pick did Morrow pick this week? Just going against the grain outside of that game.
Nothing really.
I took the Jets. I
think he learned from his mistakes.
Because I'm kind of down
the only one I differ on is Minnesota.
Because I'm kind of down. I'm just thinking each week we have to pick an underdog team to win. Yeah. I think that's actually fun. Is that not like?
That's fair. Yeah, I think
right. So at least it's guaranteed
you're not
that
going favorite.
Yeah, exactly. If that's the situation, the Raiders are a good pick for that Brant took. I'll take the Eagles on Sunday night then.
Okay.
Yeah. But which one did Morrow take? Which underdog? Vikings. Yeah. Fair. Fun stipulation, eh?
I like it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it makes it a little more interesting because you got to be like a little smarter on the matchups.
My Giants pick from last week. Perfect.
No. That stipulation didn't exist when you made that one. Sorry, buddy.
So underdogs of the week. I took the Eagles over the 49ers. Mm-hmm. Brant took Raiders, Jacksonville and the Raiders. And Moore took the Vikings over the
technically the Jets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, technically not the Jets because they weren't really the underdog.
Fair enough. I mean, that was a late game. That was late.
Wait, they were favored?
Close to the game, they were
barely favored. Barely.
Wow.
It's a 1
like
point
the
pick
money line favored. They were both favored to win. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, that wraps up the NFL. So
the Jays lose to Tampa in 2 games. Fairy tale season over.
Yeah.
But I will say the season is a resounding success.
Unbelievable. I mean, so great.
Like baseball was around when we didn't have games with the NBA and NHL going on, there was baseball to turn to. So like it was well needed. It was worth it. Like I've had buddies that have talked to me. It's like, oh, wouldn't you rather just be a shit team like the Nats or the Rangers? The Rangers at least got the 2nd pick overall. Fair. Okay. But I think the experience that you got of playing meaningful baseball for the last month and a half, like it's lessons that'll take them a lot further in a season where everything was lost.
I think we've hit the point in our rebuild where we're no longer attempting to get these high valued picks because I think our farm system plus what the team is right now, do you really need a top 10 pick anymore? Like, I would much rather compete and go after guys that are going to help you compete now as opposed to trying to build for 10 years down the road.
I believe in the front office enough to a point that I believe in their ability to scout talent through the draft. I think they've earned that.
Ross Atkins was on Tim and Sid today, and he was talking, and he said, Sid asked a really good question. He goes, with the current state of everything and all the teams that are going to be can't really go over budget and stuff like that, he said, do you guys have the ability to spend with, like, what is Rodgers giving you the ability to spend right now? And he said it all kind of comes down to if you want to put butts in seats and you want people to come and show up, you have to win games. And in order to win games, you have to spend money. And I think Rodgers knows that, which to me sounds great because, like, you're going to go after guys like Trevor Bauer. And
it's a logical answer.
Yeah. Like he, if you listen to the way he talked today and everything he went over, it sounds like he's willing to go out and spend the money if it's going to help them win.
I think if this team could make a run like as soon as next year if they get a guy like Trevor Bauer, because legitimately, if you have a rotation of Bauer, Ryu, and Nate Pearson as your three guys, and then you can get, like, fill in the next two guys, it doesn't even matter at that point because you have three bona fide starters in theory with Pearson.
I'm in a group with some of my a friend of mine and a bunch of his friends, and it's just all about, like, talking baseball and stuff like that.
Right.
And one guy posed a question. He goes, "Oh, should the Jays go after Trevor Bauer?" And there are a few people that were like, "Oh, he's a kind of a distraction. I don't know if I want that on the Jays." I'm like, look, we're talking about the guy that just led the NL in ERA, WHIP, hits per 9, and was second in strikeouts. Is likely going to be he's probably going to be the Cy Young, if not the second runner-up. Like, he'll be right there. And he's one of, like, 8 players in the game that actually play it the right way. Like, he has so much fun on and off the field, and he's a great character to have around. He's a great guy to have on your team. He's not a miserable piece of shit that complains about people flipping bats. Like, he's fun. He's a guy you want with your young guys. He's someone that you can put out there every 5th day. He can pitch 9 innings every game because he's got a rubber arm. Like, he didn't have
no. You said he'll pitch every 5 days. No, he wants to pitch more than that
every day. If you
he was like, I don't want to pitch my bullpen, so pitch me on like 3 days rest.
Yeah, he didn't have a start this year where he pitched under 100 pitches.
Yeah,
incredible stats. Just he's just a workhorse, and he's a guy that will dominate every day of the week. There's if you were thinking that you don't want Trevor Bauer on your team, you need to reevaluate your thought process because this guy is someone that the Jays desperately need right now.
100%.
I'd love to see it.
And if they were in theory in on Cole last year, then
they got Ryu.
But my point is, if they were in with the big ticket of Garrett Cole allegedly.
Why not?
Then at a lower cost, why wouldn't you be in on Trevor Bauer?
And what reason would Trevor Bauer not want to come here?
If the Angels throw the bag at him, which they should.
Sure, but, like, for him, apparently he only signs 1-year deals.
I think that's hogwash. I think that's what someone told me was like he basically said that
I've heard he's got a bet with his friend, and then I've heard that, like, he wants to play for every team in the league.
He apparently said if the situation is right, he'll obviously sign a long-term deal.
So I mean, if he is sticking with that 1-year deal, I don't think the Angels are the team he goes to next year. I think he waits 2 years, but I think the Jays are closer than the Angels are. Hell yeah, the Padres are up 1-0.
Yeah, I just saw it.
But yeah, I think the Jays are the better option for next season. And if you add him to a rotation that already features Ryu and Pearson, who absolutely dominated in Game 2, oh my god.
Were you dominating Game 2?
No, Pearson.
Pearson.
Pearson. He had fucking 5 strikeouts and 6 batters. Not bad.
Yep.
And then you add that to, like, Taijuan Walker if they get him back, and some other names that are around the team, and then just the entire lineup in general is just disgusting. So
they're only going to get better.
Exactly. Like, you've got another year under their belt. I mean, it's a really pretty situation to come into to try and give yourself a chance to go deep in the playoffs.
Should we talk about the Jays and their series with?
I want to talk about Game 1 first because so the decision to pull Shu after 3 innings and go with Ray,
right,
was bad at the time. I didn't like
it. Worked out.
it worked. That's fine. That is not the reason I look at that and think Charlie Montoyo did a bad job. And you guys know me. I have been on Charlie Montoyo's ass the entire year. I don't think he's a great manager. But everyone's getting on him for the analytics side of things. It worked out. Like, it was the right – it technically ended up being the right move to make. No. The move I don't like –
with only giving up 1 run.
Yeah. The move I don't like is you have 2 runners on with 2 outs in the 6th or 7th.
And you pinch hit Joe Panik.
And instead of using Rowdy Tellez, who's on your bench, who drives in runs like it's nothing, you bring in Joe Panik to do what? Even at the best of times, what's Joe Panik going to do? He's going to give you a nice little ground ball through the infield. And
here's my argument. One, it almost worked out.
But he didn't. Yeah, I get it. But just playing the numbers, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you're trying to drive in a run, Joe Panik's not your guy.
Here's my other thing.
Yep.
They did pinch hit Rowdy later,
which didn't make sense to me.
So here's where I kind of get it. Is if you pinch hit Rowdy in that situation, you're putting in Panik in the next inning.
You also had Santiago. I would put Santiago in to play defense.
Was he on the roster?
Yeah, he's sitting on the bench.
If he was, then okay.
I promise you, he was on the bench. I saw the roster. He was there, but he didn't get any time in the series. So, that's the thing. Is I have a lot more faith in Espinal defensively than I do Joe Panik. So you use Rowdy, and you now have Santiago in the game to play second, who I think is a better option at 2. And then you come up in that situation where Rowdy pinch hit, and it's a bases. There's nobody on, and that's a much better spot for Joe Panik because he can get on base and then do work on the base paths. Whereas even Rowdy, as much as he scored a run and was great, he's not a very big threat on the base pass. You're not worried about him scoring from first on a ball in the gap.
No, I agree. I think
made more. I thought that was a weird way to manage it.
So okay. Other counterpoint. Well, I agree. I think it might have also been a question on whether they could trust Rowdy in the moment,
which makes sense. But if you don't trust him, he shouldn't be on the roster.
I think that it was like a last minute thing where they saw him hitting and they're like, he looked like in a pinch. I think they would trust him to go out there, which he didn't play in game 2, did he?
No, didn't even get that bad. Which is, I think they knew he wasn't ready to play, and I think that has a lot to do with why he didn't pinch hit in that one. But to me, it was if you were gonna use him the next inning anyway, why not use him? That was my thing. Is you know what? If he's not healthy and you didn't want to play him because he's not healthy, that's fine. But they ended up using him in the next inning anyways, and I'm like,
because
he's healthy enough to play,
but because that was in a more dire situation.
Are you more worried about 50% of Rowdy, or do you want Joe Panik up there?
But it's in a later But it's in a later time in the game
with nobody on though. That was the thing for me. The at bat meant nothing.
No. Well, I mean, you get on and you win. You know what I mean? The situation. There was more ball game left at the moment that Joe Panik hit. VR was a massive failure for the Jays this year.
Yeah, he did not do well. He came around a little bit near the end of the year and then was dog shit in that first game of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Really good with his legs, though. He was 6 for 6 in stolen bases. So he still has that about him. If he can get on base, he's still a threat. I don't think he's back next year.
I don't think so.
But
as a utility guy, I like him, but
I love him. I think he's great to have on the team, but
who
knows?
But just not worth it. Yeah, that's all I really got about the Jays.
Were you going to say anything about game 2?
Yeah, let's talk about game 2. Anyone that's denigrating Ryu didn't look great. There's a reason why he asked for an extra day's rest. I think the game goes a little better if Bo Bichette doesn't make 2 errors in 2 innings to where Ryu's got to get 4 outs in the inning.
Both innings.
Couldn't. Yeah.
It was clear that Ryu didn't have it. His velocity wasn't there. He wasn't spotting up. That's fine, but you didn't help him out any if you're Bo Bichette. And I think he knows that. He doesn't need to hear it for the rest of his life. It happens, whatever. He's young. He's going to learn from it. And really, what are you going to do? Even watching that game, I wasn't thinking take Ryu out because the bases are loaded. I'm give him this chance, let him get out of it. Yeah. And then Hunter, he gave up a meatball to Hunter Renfroe, and that sucks. But it's the way it is. What are you going to do? If you were honestly telling me your thought process was to take out the best pitcher you have down 3
What was the
or
point of getting
it doesn't make sense. It just does. It's not a baseball move. I'm fine with it. Bye, Morrow. Yeah, it didn't make a ton of sense for me, but that's the way it is. It sucked. Tough game to lose. I think Tyler Glasnow was a very beatable pitcher in that game.
Mauro, can you fix your clean feed? Thanks. But other than that, okay.
Oh, he's frozen. I think Tyler Glasnow was a very beatable pitcher in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of sucks that they didn't get the chance to do it. They didn't put up anything against him. They hit the ball so hard for like 5 or 6 straight innings. But what are you going to do? Come back next year.
Should we move on to the Padres?
Yeah, because I don't think Morrow's going to have a lot to produce.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's still gone, so that's fine. Okay. I'm rooting against San Diego here, personally, because so everyone in like my Discord that I talk to, there's a lot of Padres fans.
Okay.
And, well, like obviously I like them. They're fun. They're good for baseball.
Yep.
Because they're so
hyped.
Yeah, they're so talked about. There was more.
I kind of get it.
Can you connect to clean feed, Mauro? And then you can start talking again.
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
Yeah, they're just talking. They're everyone's apple in their eye. You know what I mean?
Like, I get it. I get what you're saying. Which is
every day's another adventure with this internet.
So yeah, like I'm kind of rooting against them, and there was a ridiculous tweet out last night after Fernando Tatis hit his home run. It
wasn't even just the tweet; it was a lot of people.
Yeah,
was that the MLB's the one that's putting that out? No.
Yeah.
It's coming from
move over, Jose Batista.
And it was his bat flip. That was all the tweet was. But
which, like,
come on. Like,
should I start with my list on it and how bad it like that take is?
Everything about that hit was awesome. I loved it. The bat flip was sick, but they were already up 2 when he hit it.
That was my point.
He hit a 2-run
They
shot.
don't have the fans, and they were up.
Like, it wasn't the home run didn't really mean anything at the time. It ended up being pretty key, but it didn't mean shit at the time. They're up 1 or 2 at the
Context
time.
has to do for something like
of course.
The time in
they
which
didn't have the roar of the fans.
The bat flip itself was just as gross. I'll give them that. But there's been a lot of really gross bat flips that didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me just because he bat flipped in the postseason. That does not equal the Bautista bat flip. Like, the Bautista's bat flip won them a series, not just a game, a series. Whereas this one won them game 2 to keep them alive in a wild card series
of a
3-game series. Like, come on. I love the play. It was great. Do not come at me with that. Like,
not even close.
That's like saying the Freddie Freeman walk-off hit the other day was equivalent to Joe Carter's World Series home run.
And I think Padres fans would agree with this take that like it's blasphemous to compare it.
That's ridiculous.
Let's see.
I love Tatis though. Great. That was fun. I love everything about that.
Of course.
And it's so funny because you mentioned you don't like the Padres in this series. But
no, I do like the Padres to win, obviously.
You don't want them to win because the hype and stuff.
Yeah,
but for me, it's just like I absolutely hate Manny Machado with a burning passion. I really don't like Mike Clevenger with a burning passion. But I so want to see this team win, and I don't understand it, which is the polar opposite of the Yankees for me because I really like a lot of guys in the Yankees lineup, but I hate that team. And it just doesn't make sense. I don't really get it. But, yeah, here we are. Padres are up 1-0, runner on third.
Yep. We'll see.
Matt Carpenter looks great in this series, by the way.
I mean, he didn't come through yesterday.
No, but he had a few big hits yesterday and a bunch in game 1.
Moving on, Bauer versus Acuna.
Oh, Trevor Bauer, man. I don't know if I mentioned him yet.
What's your thoughts on it?
I love it. It's so sick. Like,
Great.
If you didn't see it, Acuna went after Bauer. Because he did the McGregor walk, right?
He
tweeted Marc Gasol doing the McGregor walk at him to go home, and then Bauer tweets this like beautiful compilation video of all the strikeouts he had in that series, including the one to start it against Acuna. Yeah, and It was great. Like, and then Acuna tweeted back at him today and said he just like laughed at it and said, I forget what it was. I had the tweet here, but and then Bauer just came back at him and it was just like, man, hell of a series. Good luck the rest of the way. Like, it wasn't.
It's nothing serious.
No, it's a battle, obviously, and like there's a little bit of chirping going on, but like he does it where it's not that serious. Like, he's out there having fun with it, and he knows he's probably better than you at it for the most part. And it was great. And it's like two of the most fun guys in the game, and Ronald Acuna and Trevor Bauer, and they just play the game the right way. And here they are again doing it again. It's awesome.
Yep. It's not that serious.
No, it's fun.
None of it is that serious.
It's great. It's great for the game to see because it just attracts all the younger people that just love to see that type of stuff. It's great. It's what you need.
100%.
But he'll probably get fined for it.
Yep.
Because Rob Manfred sucks at his job.
On to the NBA. Game 1 of the NBA Finals went down. Game 2's tipping off or has tipped off.
I think it's already started.
Should be already started.
Yeah, we're at 5 minutes left in the first. Lakers are up 4.
Okay, interesting. So game 1, a complete blowout by the Lakers. They were up 30 at points.
But it started out so well for the Heat.
They were up 10. I was like, interesting. We got a series. And then by the end of the first quarter, Lakers led.
They went like I'm pretty sure the Lakers went on like a 70 to 30 something run after that. Like, it was stupid. But this series is done. I'm not all that excited to talk about it because like
Dragic and Bam
game 1 sucked.
Like,
yeah, that's the thing. Like, if it was a fully healthy Heat, I think you can make a case for maybe 1 or 2 games, but like the Lakers look good.
Yeah.
Great.
It sucks because like the Raptors could have beat the Lakers 100%.
They did in that bubble thing.
And they beat them in the regular season.
But I don't know if it would have beat the Heat.
Yeah. That
sucks.
Weird.
It's weird
because the Heat was a very likable team, and now it's Jimmy's got to go nuclear.
It's
Tyler Hero's their second best player now. Like you're relying a lot on a rookie to show up.
He was their best player for the Boston series. So when did he get demoted?
I mean, Jimmy. I don't know. I think Jimmy and Bam are better than him.
Tyler Hero. No, it sucks. It would have been fun, but you're missing 2 guys, and it's just, hey, if they pull it off, kudos to them.
Credit to them,
awesome. But
I don't. What are we saying right now? 4 games, 5 games? What are we?
Depends on are they out, or is it just this one game? Because
does it matter?
I could see them stealing 1. With
I could see
the
them
lineup.
Yeah,
but without them, man, I don't know. I don't think they take this game, and if they are not back for game 3, the series is probably over in 4. Because even if they come back for game 4, they've been off for 4 days, and they're not healthy.
Playing at full speed, full energy, it's going to be tough, all in one shot.
So Doc Rivers fired by the Clippers. Good. Which
makes sense.
He should have been fired after the Lob City era ended, basically. Now they're looking for a new coach with the Clippers. You don't send a doc a job to do that a nurse can. My mom really loved that one because she's a nurse, and she was just like, "Ha, you get it?" She's like, "You get it?"
like Nick.
Yeah. And then he's hired within like a week. Like so I saw a funny tweet. I saw a funny tweet that was like, Doc's the girl that like broke up with her boyfriend in high school that he had a crush on, and within minutes, like 2 days later, she's got another boyfriend.
Yeah. Yep.
It was pretty quick. Yeah, like from a matter of when he got fired, like it was only a day or 2, like not even a week.
It was
like it was.
Which, you know what? Doc Rivers, great human being. He's kind of a guy you want around your team, I would think. He's not the best coach.
No.
But he's a really nice guy, and I hope the Sixers have a lot of fun with him. I don't think they're going to do much better, but
I don't know how he fixes the fact that Ben Simmons can't shoot, and you can't rely on Joel Embiid to be healthy.
No.
I don't know that it's like good luck to you.
Hey, have good luck.
I mean, Tobias Harris was really good under Doc Rivers with the Clippers. Okay. Maybe he can justify getting. Maybe he can justify getting as much money as Jimmy Butler did. But
I doubt it.
You know, I just think he's a better player, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Hot take?
I don't know, man. I don't think that's that hot.
It's a joke.
I was gonna say I do not think that's hot.
Shoot.
It'll be fun. I don't really have a ton to say on it. I just think I don't think it's a move that moves the needle for me. I think they're still the same team, and there's a lot of things they got to fix, and I don't think Doc Rivers is going to fix that. But who knows? Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened.
Fair enough.
Before we go on to the NHL and Tampa winning the Stanley Cup, are we in for the most boring offseason ever?
In the NBA?
Well, sorry, most boring winter ever, because all we really have is the NFL and college football.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
From that standpoint,
nothing.
Nothing. What the hell's going to be on? What's going to be on during the week? What do I do with myself? Tuesday.
That's what I said to my brothers.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
My brother goes, Saturday. Yeah, we can watch football. I'm like, yeah, football is 3 days a week, and 2 of them are just one game.
You guys are going to have to buy in on college football.
Even if I do that, it's Saturday.
It's Saturday.
4 days of the 7. What the hell do I do with the other 3? And 2 of them only have one game.
One game. Yeah.
I'm going to be so bored.
Like, we're praying basically for free agency news to carry the conversation. And even that, like, it's not something I can watch. I'm not going to watch coverage all day.
No. We had this wave for so long where we could just talk for hours about sports. And we're going to hit this wave where we can't talk for minutes about sports.
100%.
Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Hopefully baseball just drags on.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So Tampa wins in 5 games. They do the 6. Oh yes, because the Tampa lost game 5. Yeah, 1 and 5. Dallas won. So Dallas loses in 6 games. Tampa wins, and they're partying like it's 1999 in Tampa.
I saw someone on Twitter being like, "Oh, I'm like genuinely furious at the Tampa Bay Lightning. They should be fined for their antics and this and that." It's like, okay, you know what? I get it. You're upset. COVID's a thing. It's still a thing everywhere. There's no laws in Tampa that say you can't do any of that.
No, exactly. Yeah.
There's a 6 months off season for them right now.
Don't blame the team. Blame the governor.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a government problem, not the team problem.
Yeah.
I can still rip the guys on the team, like Alex Kaloran being the Harvard guy, being like, "Thanks, governor, for opening the bars," and like, well, what are we doing here? Like,
obviously, it's not the brightest move as human beings, but if your state's open, you're gonna do it.
I cut them some slack because this is literally the pinnacle of their career, and they're not going to not celebrate the highest point of their career, like
especially if they can.
And I get it, COVID aside, right? Like I get that there's serious stuff going on, but I mean, if their government is allowing them to party like it's, like it's a regular pandemic exists, then I mean.
It's up to them, man. It's their lives. If they want to ruin their entire health, fine. They're not going to play any other teams. They're not going to spread it throughout the league right now because there's no hockey until December, maybe January.
Right.
So if they catch COVID now, they'll be done for 2 weeks. They're not seeing anyone else. And I guarantee you the Tampa Bay Lightning are not the only team that has guys going out to bars. Crazy news. I get it. Like, give your head a shake, man. These are grown-ass men. If they want to do something and they have the legal rights to do it, they can go ahead and do it.
I mean, if the government is going to allow them to go and have a full-out parade and go on boats and do, a full-out parade like it's, COVID doesn't exist. I mean, don't blame them.
Yeah, blame your governor.
It's like, don't blame them. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I mean, I can hate on both of them.
Sure. I get you can go ahead and hate them all you want, but like don't give me that they need to be fined and there should be repercussions.
No.
They're not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything wrong.
It's stupid what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's allowed also.
Myself.
Yeah.
But you can't give them shit for it because they're legally within their rights to do it.
Exactly.
And they're probably not the only players doing it. I guarantee Jamie Benn was at a bar that night drowning his sorrows away because he looked like he was crushed.
Yeah.
It's funny.
He didn't go down to the dirty areas and perform.
No, he's not a fan of it. No, he stays away from it, actually.
Is that it for this week?
I think we'd be remiss if we went an entire podcast and we didn't talk about Donald Trump.
Okay. Yes, I was actually going to bring this up.
Fair enough.
Who broke the news?
Have we found out if it was shams yet?
They tweeted at the exact same time.
So, like, unless
Do you think that Shams had a tweet on the ready?
No.
Once he saw Donald Trump's tweet?
Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe. I hope he was the one that broke it. I hope that.
I really do. Because like, what a wild story.
I woke up this morning and I saw 12:54 and 12:54 or something.
Yeah.
They were simultaneous, so I don't check the second.
That guy has some sources.
So this just his story is legitimately incredible. Like he was in high school and had to be like, "Hey teacher, I got to take this call from a source. Let me step out here."
Really?
And then he went on his phone and broke a trade. Yeah,
Really?
like and the dude's 25 or 26 right now, and he's breaking shit like this apparently.
So
regardless, Shams over Woj.
Is this not the most like I don't wish bad upon any human being.
Yeah.
No matter how shit of a person you are. But is this not the most poetic justice if something ends up happening to Donald Trump because of COVID?
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
So the conspiracy theories were out.
Oh yeah.
Because
some of them, but
my biggest fear is not Donald Trump dying. Like if you're talking from a moral perspective,
he survives and has no problems.
My biggest problem is if he survives and then says the whole thing's a hoax. That is
that's exactly what I was thinking. Is he's gonna?
I thought he legitimately came up with it and was just like,
he's gonna come out after and be like, "Oh, it's not that bad. You're fine. It's just a flu. You'll be fine. I'm here. Look at me go."
We're doing, if there's one person I expect that from, it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Do I wish him well? Yeah, like I mean, piece of shit aside.
Really?
I mean, he doesn't deserve to die.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care.
I mean,
Hold on.
I think he's a terrible human being.
Hold on. Here's my point. I'm not using my well wishes on him.
I'm not here like thoughts and prayers out to Donald Trump. No, by no means. But no one deserves to die. I mean, he did cause like 200,000 deaths in the US.
Hey, here's my thing. Save everyone that has cancer first. Save everyone that has a disease first.
Yep.
Save everyone that's dealing with poverty, any like malaria, like any other disease. Save them first.
And
this is the whole 50 feet of shit.
Stop racism. And then there's 50 feet of crap.
And then there's Donald Trump. Don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's fair. I mean,
I don't care.
I see your point.
I do
agree with you. But I think it's just poetic justice if that's the way.
Oh, absolutely.
That's so funny. It's hilarious.
If this is the way he goes out.
So funny. It's gonna be horrible on Twitter though if he does.
Taken to the hospital today for precaution.
He hasn't tweeted since he tweeted that thing out, and that is rare air for that man.
A lot of this thing I feel like is
I think we're getting catfished.
I agree.
I'm intrigued to see when it comes out that he didn't actually have.
Apparently, I
used it as a tactic.
I follow it a little bit, like the whole politics thing. Apparently, 14 days or I believe 13 days from now is when he and Joe Biden are supposed to have their second debate.
Okay. 14 days from now?
13. How long are you supposed to quarantine for?
14 days.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
He doesn't want to look like an idiot on TV again. He's gonna make him.
I don't know. Something I read. It was something I saw on Twitter. I'm like, that sounds.
Maybe his PR people told him to stand back and stand by until the next debate. Fuck.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
They're all too much. I mean,
hey, did you see we apparently we're going back down to 10 people per or we already have gone back down to 10 people allowed at a house, and like it might go back down to just your own family again.
It should be.
But hey, we can still go to bars with 100 people. So
shut it down. What the fuck are we doing?
I mean, I'm all for doing whatever it takes, but like, why are you telling me I can't have more than 10 people at my house, but you're gonna allow people to go with complete strangers to a bar of however many people?
So we can't do our Thanksgiving dinner at home if there's 10 of us. But if we want to go to the keg, we can bring 100 of us and go do dinner. Like, fuck off, man. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Like, figure out where your issues are and don't tell me it's because people are gathering at other people's houses. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Fix your shit.
I trust myself meeting with 20 family members, like if I'm going to have a party for Thanksgiving, if we're going to do a meal, like I trust that than going to, a place to go and eat, like whatever, the Keg or any sort of restaurant where you're dining in. So
it's brutal because like right now at this point, like there's 12 potential people that would come to the Thanksgiving dinner, but it's like if so-and-so comes, then so-and-so can't come. But like if these people come, then these people can't come. And it's one of those things. But Brad and Chad can go to the bar on Friday night with 30 of their best friends because there's only 100 people allowed there. It's fine. Yeah, they can't go out until 2 in the morning, but like, come on. It's an absolute joke.
All this Doug Ford had a layup for like he was doing great up until
he was doing so well.
Yeah.
Until he started opening everything again.
Yeah. There's a bit of NHL news, so do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, we're actually not that long right now. So.
I know. Okay. It's been rumored the past few days, but Devin Dubnyk to San Jose is picking up steam. I think it was him and Donato to Minnesota. Or to San Jose. Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, San Jose needs something. They're paying their starting goalie way too much, but that'll be interesting.
They need someone to play in case he shits the bed, which he has.
Yep.
All right, here's some notes.
Okay.
Boston sniffing OEL. If they trade for OEL, they re-sign Krug. If not, rebuild? ? This is all like from Elliot Friedman and 31 Thoughts. Not rebuild necessarily, but like retool in a way.
I don't know if you're going to touch this point, but I saw that Edmonton was interested in OEL.
Yeah, and he
doesn't want to go there. And then I saw a bunch of Edmonton fans going, "Good, he's not worth it." But he would be the best defense on your team by 3.5 miles.
So here's the problem though, and Friedman talked about it when he brought up Edmonton. And I wasn't going to bring it up, but since you are, that they were asking for, or that they would do their Edmonton's first round pick, Evan Bouchard, and another prospect or another pick or something. And Friedman was just like, no chance. It's either a pick or Bouchard. It's not both of them.
No,
it doesn't make sense to do that.
Don't tell me he's not good enough to be on this team and he wouldn't be worth it.
But
he is
OEL,
your best defenseman.
But OEL doesn't want to go there. OEL doesn't want to go there right now.
It's just so funny about Oilers fans thinking he was not good enough to be on this team. He is the best defenseman you'll have.
No, obviously.
He's playing 30 minutes for you.
Buffalo. Not trading Eichel now. Want to add a goalie. Stahl's a good pickup. It didn't make sense for them to trade Eichel now since they have already paid him his money on July 1. Like, okay. Detroit, they're in on Markstrom, apparently. Like they're one of many teams that are in on him.
You know what? There's like 25 teams in the NHL that should be in on Jacob Markstrom.
And they could also be in on Askarov in the draft.
Okay.
And he could be like the highest goalie taken since what?
Okay.
Price?
Since Spencer Knight last year?
I mean, he's going to go higher than Spencer Knight, apparently.
Jesus.
Yeah. Wow. Because Knight went in the 10 to 14 range, didn't he?
I think he was 13th.
Yeah. So Florida will listen to anyone not named Barkov. Quinville to Seattle, ?
So Huberdeau, not even?
No, they'll listen.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, I know we don't need forwards.
But he is a two-way guy.
But I mean, like, if we're looking for guys that can play defense, why not put one up front that can play defense? That's
Nylander for Huberdeau.
I love Nylander.
Okay. Quinville to Seattle.
Oh, sorry.
Quinville
Yes, Ekblad is what I'm thinking on that. Because Aaron
Ekblad?
Ekblad, man, like if you can swing that cap hit around and instead of having to go after 30-year-old Alex Pietrangelo, you get 24-year-old. He's my 24-year-old. But he can play defense, and that's kind of what we need. He's a big man in the back end. He's 6'5" every time he steps on the ice.
Okay, Don.
You know what? The problem with him is his head is fairly soft and he's hurt a lot.
Yeah. Quinville to Seattle was interesting.
Already, eh? Hasn't it
been potentially.
Yeah.
Like he was like wondering and questioning if that could actually work out if both sides want to leave.
I don't think Quenneville would leave after 1 year. It's been one.
Yeah.
Like
one in a bit, right?
He knew that Seattle job was out there. I think if he wanted the Seattle job, he would have waited for it because he would have been the candidate for it. No problem.
Anything on Columbus goalies at all?
No.
I think they hold both.
I heard about that though. Yeah.
There's not a lot of.
What did he say?
That they're listening on both goalies.
Really?
Hmm.
Hello, Merce Leakins.
I was gonna say, man, I would give him an arm and a leg because that guy could be one of the best goalies in the NHL in the next 3 years.
I don't know. Do you not go after one of those if you move on from Friday?
I'd take one of them. I'd take one.
Yes.
I would. Yes. Would you not give up the 18th pick for Merce Leakins?
Yeah. In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. I don't want that pick. It's 15, by the way. It's not even 18. It's the 15th pick.
Oh, 15th, yeah.
I would give that to them without a thought. And here you go. I'll take Merce Leakins. And then you take
15th pick, Janssen and someone else. Do it.
I don't even think you need to give up that much. It's goalie market's small, but like whatever you got to give up, you do it. If it's Janssen in that deal too, and then you can find a way to ship Freddie out for anything else, you've just opened up like $7 or $8 million in cap space. And you're coming home with a guy that could have won the Vezina at one point last year if he played the entire season. Like, he had 9 shutouts in like 15 games. Like, come on. Really yes, please.
All right, you want to hear before the Leafs. Sergachev and Sergachev for New Jersey's first. Not New Jersey's first, but one of their first. 18 or 20, apparently. That could be a thing that works out.
Tampa needs to open up a lot of cap if they want to play next year, right? You know what? I've been talking a lot about Tampa Bay and their cap space for the last couple of years, which was like, you know what? If they want to compete, they got to figure out something now. But like now that they want it, it doesn't really matter. They could dump a lot of guys, and it does not mean shit.
Well, it's like the Blackhawks. After they won, everybody was moving on.
Didn't matter. Get rid of everyone.
Right after they won.
Yep. Same situation. I wouldn't be shocked to see any big names go out of there, other than like Point and Kucherov. Obviously, like they're not going anywhere. Hedman, Vassal, but I wouldn't be shocked to see them kind of blow it up a little bit just so they can stay under the cap.
Okay, Leafs. Two probably, or 3 defensemen on the right side. The next choice for Pietrangelo is probably Vegas, according to Free. Like this is what he thinks. They'll look at Petro, DeMello, TVR, Brody, Gudas, no Barry, Tanev, Vatanen, edge up front potentially, 2 right side D instead of 1 Petro. Which is the right move, in my opinion.
Absolutely the right move. I like Alex Pietrangelo. I think he's a really good defenseman. I think I've said this 19 times on the podcast, but he's not worth 2 separate players making 4.
Yeah,
like I'm sorry. Like I think he's a great defenseman and he locks down a lot of stuff, but he's like not worth.
If you're telling me DeMello 4x4, even DeMello give him more term than that at 4. Like I'm fine with that. And if you're talking about 2 guys, it's still going to be a better term and not going to kill you financially to where if it doesn't work out, you can still trade one of those guys. If Petro doesn't work out, you're absolutely grabbed by the balls. Like your balls are in a vice grip, bro. Like there's nothing you can do. I'm just reading through the 31 thoughts right now. But what do you guys think of the like potential names? Is there any that stands out to you?
So I already sent this to you, but Dmitry Filipovich tweeted out after Tampa won. He goes, "Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They deserve it after not overreacting to last year's disastrous ending. Stuck with it, didn't do dumb shit just for the sake of mixing things up. Found creative ways to add to the group, and finally got rewarded for building an awesome team." So I looked at that and I'm like, that's got to be a subtweet. So I quote tweeted him like, seems like a bit of a subtweet. He responded to me and goes, "You're goddamn right it is." I'm like, this is one of the smartest analysts in hockey. Like, doesn't get his due for the most part, but like just on point on a lot of the stuff he says. And I don't disagree with him, man. Like, you don't need to take this whole team and blow it up into something different. Like, Tampa got swept in round 1 last year, and you're going to tell me, like, a lot of people thought they were done? Like, right.
I don't think Kapanen's a dumb move.
No, I think it was okay. You need to clear cap space a little bit, but, like, that's also not blowing it up. Like, to the point where people are like, get rid of Nylander and Marner, and
you got a prospect in a first-round pick. Like
it was a smart trade. He wasn't blowing up anything, but like for the people that think they should blow it up and completely change the making of the team, Tampa has been this team for what 8 years, I'd say, and this is the first time they've won a cup. Like, you can't say, oh, the Leafs don't make it past the first round. The Leafs at least made it to Game 7 against Boston, who was the 2nd seed in the league. The Tampa didn't even win a game last year against Columbus, who was the bottom seed in the league. So,
all right, we're gonna go deep here. Where do you think Lundqvist goes?
Oh, we didn't even mention Lundqvist. I have no idea. What's Lundqvist gonna get? I don't think it's a matter of where he goes. What are you gonna pay? You don't have to pay him much because he's still going to get paid from the Rangers.
Yeah,
2.5. How much
I don't even know if you have to give him that. Like,
I'm highballing it.
If you're like Lundqvist, smart man, gets $10 haircuts.
Beauty.
Great guy. Beautiful man.
Beauty.
But he knows what he's doing. He can go to a contender for a league min almost and still make the, what is it, $8 million from New York every year? Why would he bother going to get, like, yeah, give me $3 million? Why would you bother? Yeah. I wonder if your career, your legacy, you guys are big on the legacy thing. If he's as big as you guys are on legacy, then you want to go somewhere and win a cup, because right now Lundqvist could be one of the best goalies of all time, but nobody gives a shit because he's never won anything.
Okay, so what teams make sense? Vegas?
Vegas could be a destination,
but you got all that money with Flower. It would have to be a situation
looking to get rid of Tuukka. Apparently, if that happens, maybe
as their starter though.
Yeah, well, they had Halak through the entire run and were fine. You run that split system where they get 50% of the games each,
which makes sense with that, because
the Islanders, you go across the road to the Islanders. I think you'd have a fun time there because they don't allow shots.
Yeah.
Calgary needs goaltending.
Toronto.
I didn't want to trade
if you trade Freddie, is he like you run a system with him and Jack?
I take Freddie over Hank, but like current Hank, like obviously prime Hank is better than Freddie,
obviously. But we're talking about with the asset that you gain from Freddie, like in a situation where the Leafs trade Freddie and are able to sign. I don't know if there's a scenario where the Leafs sign Petro. Or are getting premier free like the two defensemen that we say, but they have to trade Freddie Anderson in order to get the cap space. Would you? Is a Hank Campbell situation?
I like it. I don't think it's the best possible option, but I also don't hate it if you want to bring in a guy like Petro.
I would prefer, obviously trading for one of Columbus's goalies.
Yes, a lot of age there. You got a lot of time left with those guys.
That would be. I can't even believe that's a thing.
I'm shocked. I mean, I get it.
It don't make sense because you passion. Yeah.
But like, why? Did you see what Korpisalo just did to 2 straight teams?
I literally
70 saves.
Yeah. Did you see what Merzlikins did all season long?
You want Merzlikins more, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean,
I don't want to pay what I have.
Exactly. You got to think of acquisition costs, right?
Yeah.
Korpisalo's would cost less. I would think. Yeah.
Right now.
Is lower on AAV.
He's got a contract. I think it's a bridge deal though. I'm gonna check.
2 years at 2.8. I looked at it. I talked about this yesterday with.
Okay.
Mersley's an RFA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a 4.
You signed him to the Freddie contract. What's up?
I don't even sign him to that.
Doesn't Merzlikins have a contract?
No, he's an RFA, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they signed him.
I could have sworn he was I looked not that long ago when he was an RFA, but
I'm not gonna.
Could be wrong. But I wouldn't. If he is, I wouldn't sign him to the Freddie deal because he's only played 1 year. It's like you take 3 years at 3.5.
Isn't this the second year? This year feels like forever ago.
Same.
No, you're cut.
You're cutting now, Mauro.
2 years at 4 point.
Yeah, at 2 years at 4 million. Yeah,
2 years, 4 million.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, at bang for buck, I think
I really like it. No, 9 shutouts from Merzlikins, man. The only reason he fell apart in the Toronto games because he got hurt.
But fitting in your cap space, 2.8 of Korpisalo is pretty tasty compared to.
I can eat the 4 million if you're getting rid of Freddie's cap space. I don't care.
Right.
I'd much rather have Merzlikins.
Problem. It's only two. It's a 2-year fix. You're only really fixing it for 1 extra year, and then you've got to shell out big.
Then you sign him
at 28. He's literally in his prime.
Is he 26?
He's 26.
That's
both of them. Rookie. Both of them. 26.
Old rookie.
Yeah. So you're not in
Korpisalo. I don't know why I just don't have as much faith in Korpisalo. Like as good as he's been.
He was more highly touted, Korpisalo.
Yeah.
He was always like a medium elite in NHL. I would always remember like Korpisalo was always there. All right, here let's clean up the 31 thoughts on what he said.
Okay.
Not sure it's possible, but I think Arizona and Vancouver had OEL conversations.
Yo, give me that in my veins.
I mean, Tyson Barrie to Vancouver could also happen.
Give me that too. Both of them in my veins.
I don't think both could happen. Toronto. Let's circle back to the Toronto conversation. Tanev would be beautiful.
I like it.
I would love.
Didn't you not like Tanev not that long ago?
Oh, I love Tanev.
Okay.
The problem is he's never healthy.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanev would be great. DeMello would be great.
The rumors about Tanev coming to Toronto have been a thing for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, always.
It seems like every time we ever needed to make a trade, it was just like, oh, so and so for Tanev.
Yeah.
But
just never happened.
I would rather see Tanev and Gudas come here than Petro.
Interesting. Svechnikov. Carolina was willing to look at an 8 years, $7.5 million deal. That's not low, but the player is willing to bet himself to do better. Obviously, yeah, that dude could get like a fair deal. Is like 8 by 9.
8 by 7.5 is not low.
Yeah, it's low.
Like next year, that contract's going to be an absolute bargain.
I love Svech.
Do you see him in the playoffs?
I love Svech, bro.
Holy shit! That's
six games played, 4 goals, 3 assists.
He was just a pain in the ass the entire time.
Minnesota asked Dustin Byfuglien if he wants to play for them. If there was one team he'd consider, it would be the Wild.
Really?
He wouldn't do. But no one. Yeah. But no one thinks that he's playing again.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what the fuck is with these Patrick Laine rumors?
Yeah,
like a lot of people think he's gone.
What do you get back from Patrick Laine that makes it worth it?
That makes nothing.
Matt Dumba doesn't make it worth it. I'm sorry.
I love Matt Dumba, but no, I need more than that.
Straight up, but
it's got to be a lot.
They've been hurting defensively though.
No, I agree. But Matt Dumba doesn't help you with defense. Like Matt Dumba helps you with points. Matt Dumba's a point getter.
Again, you can go out and sign lots of D-men right now. That'll help. Trade. You don't need to trade Patrick Laine, who's one of the elite goal scorers in the NHL. I don't know. Especially after this year where Laine looked like a much better two-way player than he has in the past. Like played pretty good defense and he put up assists. I don't know. I don't really see what they see where they need to go and get someone for him. I
would like that fit.
Laine in where was it?
Minnesota? Makes them a lot more watchable.
Help,
they need centers, bro. They need centers.
They need a lot of help.
But they're more watchable. What's their first round pick that they're getting in? That he's coming over. Abramov?
Oh,
not
Abramov. I know who you're talking about. I don't remember.
Krasov?
Krapsov. Why don't we just look this up?
Yeah.
The internet exists, eh?
Yeah. Kratsov? I don't know.
Let's just keep guessing until we figure it out.
Oh, it's close enough.
Washington. I think, like, what do they do after Laine is a free agent after this year. Like, he's already on a 6.7 bridge.
Well, that's why. What's the name?
Kirill Kaprizov.
Kirill Kaprizov.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Laine. That's the problem that everyone's trying to figure out. Is like he's gonna want a lot of money, but I think a lot. Like if you're Montreal, why aren't you giving up an arm and a leg to try to get him? You have no first line player.
The only reason you didn't win that first round against Philly is because you could not score. They were honestly the better team in that series. They just couldn't score.
Like, give up your first round pick and prospect.
The Wild also have Matthew Boldy. Boldy was the 12th overall pick, 2019. So they have some stuff there, but
he doesn't believe that Vegas desires to buy out Fleury,
as they shouldn't.
Washington's looking to move money to re-sign Brendan Dillon. Solid, fine. Coyotes test the market on Clayton Keller.
Really?
They
might be big sellers again just because they want to get back down.
Well, because money. Yeah.
They've just been spending too much money.
I think he signed 7x7, right?
Yeah. You can't do that in Arizona. It's not a thing. That's why OEL's on the market too.
Yep.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. You guys were good for like 2 months.
You better hope Kemper just carries a team of trash.
And that was a team, like, do you think one of those guys get traded, Ronta or Kemper?
I've heard rumors. Like
I trust Kemper. Like if the Leafs somehow swung a deal for Kemper,
dude, I would in a heartbeat. Did you see him against Nashville?
Oh, buddy,
Yeah.
I know.
He made like 100 saves a night against Colorado too. They just couldn't win that series because they didn't know how to play.
He carried me in fantasy that year. Like
It's
he was just unreal.
Yeah, an unbelievable goaltender when he's healthy. Big if.
I don't think there's anything else.
No, I think we're good.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys the NHL awards? You know, Leon won the Hart. Any problems with it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought it should have been.
I thought it should have been either of the other two.
Who
personally?
Panarin or
yeah.
I thought it should have been Panarin. You thought it should.
I had McKinnon. It was close too. Like if the Rangers finish the season, Panarin wins the MVP.
100%.
Because they were knocking on the door of a playoff spot, and the only reason they were there was him and Zibanejad, and it was mostly just him.
Yeah.
Like if that was the one thing that kind of COVID kind of screwed over, was he probably would have been the Hart Trophy winner if they would have finished it off. McKinnon, I think he was great. I think he was more valuable to his team than Leon was, especially because everyone on Colorado got hurt. And Leon, as much as they didn't play on the same line for a lot of times, Leon still had Connor. And like they scored a lot of power play points, and he doesn't really play defense. He was a minus like 50 something. Like I know plus minus is a dated stat, but when you have 130 points and your plus minus is minus 50 something or whatever it was, like that's bad. But oh well. Also, people hopped all over. Who was it? Was it Siegel?
Jonas Siegel?
No, it was Dmitry Filipovich.
Okay.
He voted. He didn't even put him on his ballot. Didn't put Leon on his ballot. Filipovich.
Who'd he put?
I don't remember the rest of the ballot. I think he had McKinnon winning it. I think he had Draisaitl sixth. Like he would have been my sixth pick, but he wasn't top 5 for me.
Right.
I'm like, that's fair. I don't disagree, because he said his model has him terribly in his own end, and you can't really be the most valuable player in the league if you cannot play in your own end. I think it's fair. Other than that, the award.
Mauro, you fine with it? What are you?
I mean, yeah, I think it's always going to be skewed because they always lean towards point totals, and he put up the most points. I liked McKinnon's year. I'd like Panarin's year. I mean, just from how they carried their teams individually, like you said, Brant, like injuries riddled the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, Zibanejad missed time for the Rangers too. So I mean, those were the two guys that picked up the slack for their respective teams, and
he made him a goal per game guy.
That's
incredible, unbelievable. Sorry, continue.
No, I mean, yeah, I get why they picked Draisaitl. Do I hate that it's skewed like that, where just because you put up the same amount of points?
Yep.
And I think that's where I think the logic got changed for the Norris, right? Because for me, John Carlson was a clear-cut front runner for the Norris, and Roman Jokic ends up getting it, right? Because I feel like
I think it was Roman Jokic's award to win.
He is the better player, but because of the point totals, everybody always thinks it's going to be John Carlson, myself included in that.
The story was John Carlson for a lot of the year, right? Like he was just like, oh, look at the point totals he's putting up, but like he wasn't
for the first time since Brian Leach, right? Like it's.
So I mean, it was nice to see someone not leading the point totals win the Norris, which was great. A lot of people were talking about Quinn Hughes, how he should have won the the Calder, because his point totals are better. Like we're talking about a kid that played, was it 12, 13 more games than Makar? Like don't look at the point totals for me. Look at their body of work and what they both had to do. I think they're both incredible D-men. Like it was 1 and 1A for me, but that award was right 10 times out of 10. There's just more fight on that than I thought there should have been.
Vesna, what do you guys think?
I was shocked that it was Hellebuyck.
Who won it? It should have been Hellebuyck. It should have been Hellebuyck.
I just kind of forgot he was so good in the regular season, but
yeah, he was unreal.
Yeah,
it was absolutely his award.
I just kind of forgot who he was.
Who was second?
Only one, but Rask also missed a lot of time.
Yeah. Oh, Rask. Yeah. Vassal was third too.
Should we look back on our picks that we did the lineup? Yeah, I did.
Okay. If you have,
what were they kind of?
I don't even remember.
I can't remember the. Okay, so
I don't even know where to find them.
We end off on a NHL playoff draft where we assemble a full line that we would take into the 2020 playoffs. Should we? Okay, I have them pulled up.
Okay.
I'll save Brits for last because it's really funny. Moro, you had your coach as Barry Trotz, except none of us put coaches.
No,
Oh
fucking
wait, no. I did Pittsburgh's Mike Sullivan.
Mhm.
I remember that. Okay, so Moro, Marchand, Crosby, Ovechkin. Holy fuck. Petro and John Carlson. Yeah, Petro and John Carlson, and he's got Tuukka Rask net, so he'll just leave.
Oh, oh no.
That one came full circle.
Yeah. I had Panarin, McDavid, Kane.
So you lost half your team in the first.
No. But the point of this was like if you could assemble a team, and this team goes exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yossi Hedman, you're not scoring a fucking goal, and my goalie's Hellebuck.
Okay. So yeah.
Kucherov, McKinnon, Pasta.
That's gross.
Nice.
Scoring
Gross.
100 goals a game.
Makar Hughes, you're not stopping anything.
Gross. No,
you're not stopping
you're
anything.
scoring 100 goals a game.
No. Here's why you're not stopping anything.
Who's my goalie?
Jordan Binnington.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Steal, man. But you know, the playoffs.
Ew, he was bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hindsight 2020.
we better win games 199, but oof.
Mm-hmm.
He was terrible against Vancouver. And then they put him back in for game 7.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I think it's between me and Mora.
I think you win just because
I agree.
You did have the Norris Trophy winner and Vezina Trophy winner.
Plus the Vezina, plus McDavid, Panarin, and who else?
Patrick Cade.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have should have been. Did any of us take Draisaitl?
No, because we didn't classify him as a winger.
We classified him as center.
Yeah. He's not better than any of us anyway. Shouldn't even have won the Hart, but whatever. All right, I think we're done.
Yeah, we went on for an extra half an hour in the NHL.
Drag that.
Yeah, it was fun though. I might chop it up and put it underneath the NHL section. We'll see. But until next time, we'll see you guys. Peace.